Can ChatGPT really create a backpacking recipe? Let's find out. Here we go. Over the last 3 years, I've been creating backcountry recipes, giving backcountry tips, and sharing my adventures on Instagram. And now after 3 years, I'm super fortunate to be able to call it my full-time job. And now we're gonna move a lot of what we're doing over on Instagram to YouTube because I'm just excited about YouTube and the potential and everything that it could do for this business. And honestly, I just feel like my content is better suited for long form content rather than short form content. And a lot of this information and all these things that I'm teaching you, these recipes, these tips, have come from a lot of experience, a lot of different things in my past that have taught me these things, whether those are my mom's recipes or whether those are like bummy recipes that I learned in university or tips over the years that I've learned just from making mistakes and failing over and over and over again. But I will say that never in my life will I have said that I've learned a recipe from AI. As I'm thinking about future-proofing, as I'm thinking about what is my job gonna look like, as I think about what is this next generation, this time of AI going to be like, I think we gotta push it to the limits and see how we can actually use it to become better backpackers. And I really like that narrative where we're using AI, we're using a screen, we're using a robot to help ourselves get off the screen and into the outdoors, into the mountains. And I think that's a heck of a lot better than putting on some VR goggles and experiencing the mountains through a screen. Don't you think? So today we're doing something that I've never done before in my entire life. I'm letting AI write my backpacking recipe. Is it gonna be a disaster? Is it gonna be phenomenal? Let's find out. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. Write me an Asian-inspired backpacking recipe made with ingredients that I probably already have at home or can easily be found at a grocery store. Make it easy to make in the backcountry with just one stove. Let's see. Sure, here's a simple and tasty Asian-inspired backpacking noodle soup that's easy to prepare in the backcountry with minimal ingredients, yet packed with flavor. It uses ingredients you can likely find at home or at a local grocery store, and all you need is a single stove to cook it. Here we go. Backpacking Asian-inspired noodle soup. Ingredients, serves one instant ramen noodles. Okay, I have that. Or any dried noodles you like. You can use rice noodles or soba if you prefer. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Okay, that's a decent amount. 1 tablespoon sesame oil for added flavor. Okay, I'll need to bring a little container. 1/2 teaspoon dried ginger powder or fresh ginger. Nope, that's not happening. 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder. 1/4 teaspoon crushed red pepper flakes. 1 tablespoon miso paste, optional, but it adds rich umami flavor. Miso and sesame, okay. 1 tablespoon peanut butter, okay, all right. 1/4 cup freeze-dried or dehydrated vegetables. We'll bring some, well, we'll figure that one out. 1/2 cup dried tofu or soy protein, or you can use a boiled egg if you have the luxury of carrying one. 1 to 2 boiled eggs. Yeah, that's not really my vibe. Maybe that's just the protein there, so we'll just swap that out with like a freeze-dried beef or a chicken or something like that. Fresh lime or lemon wedge, fresh cilantro or green onions. Okay, I think we have most of these ingredients. We'll figure out the veggies, but let's go try it. get started. So we've come to the outdoors and we've taken all the different ingredients. Actually, most of them I had from my house. And we are just about ready to start cooking. So here are the ingredients that ChatGPT is suggesting. So our noodles are going to be an instant noodle. So this is the Neo Guri. This one's actually my favorite one to bring outdoors, and it's my favorite one in general because it says here that they are udon type noodles, and so the noodles are a little bit thicker, which is super, super nice. And so for the base of our soup, we have some peanut butter. We got good old Adam's crunchy peanut butter. We have soy sauce. We have garlic powder, ginger powder, and miso. And this is sesame oil. For what we're putting in, of course, we're putting in our noodles, but we're putting in this. And this is a little secret weapon of mine that I'll explain in a full-on later video. But this is a dehydrated vegetable mix that you can buy at a store that's probably somewhat close to you. But I'm gonna leave that a secret because I gotta leave some anticipation for the next videos. But this is a dried, pre-dehydrated, like whole mix that you can buy at one store, and it's gonna be what we're using today. And we are also supposed to have chicken, which I completely forgot. So I forgot the freeze-dried chicken, so we're just gonna imagine today that we brought the freeze-dried chicken, or we're gonna imagine today that we are just going without protein, and this is gonna be a full vegetarian noodle soup done by ChatGPT. Let's start cooking. So if you haven't guessed, we are not out backpacking in the moment. We're just at a local park, but we are trying to mimic what it would be like in the outdoors by bringing, you know, the water that we would bring outdoors and while backpacking. And we just brought all the ingredients just because then I can measure the exact values so that we know if this recipe will actually be good. Bring 2 cups of water to boil in your backpacking stove pot. So let's add some water into here. So that is just about 2 cups of water, and it says bring it to a boil. Okay, so we're starting to come to a little kind of small rolling boil. And so before it gets too crazy, I want to start adding in some of these ingredients. So it says to add our soy sauce, sesame oil, ginger powder, and garlic powder. So this is going to be 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. It's going to be 1/2 a teaspoon of ginger powder. That'll be interesting. I think that's going to be a lot, but we'll see. 1/2 a teaspoon of ginger powder. We're gonna add 1 full teaspoon here. Oh, little whistle. Of sesame oil. And then we can give that a little stir. My pot's starting to boil quite a bit, so I'm gonna turn down the heat. And we are going to add in a tablespoon of soy sauce packet. That should be 1 tablespoon. Okay, let's take a look. What's next? So we have our soup base here. It's a little bit brown. Smells decent, honestly. Not too bad. Okay, so now we are supposed to add in our dehydrated vegetables. And there's a hole. Cool. We are going to put in 1/4 cup of dehydrated vegetables. So we're gonna do 1/4 cup of this dehydrated vegetable mix. Maybe I can use this little hole to help it come out. We're just gonna kind of guess here, to be honest with you. And we're gonna let that rehydrate. Yeah, that's great. It says also to add in our ramen. And we can break it into smaller pieces to fit the pot, so. Let's see. Okay. Struggle. There we go. So, ramen pieces going in. Smells decent. It smells actually pretty decent. It definitely like does smell like not an Asian person cooked it. Is I guess my way of saying that, but honestly, it looks like it could be passable. So now we're on to adding our miso paste. So 1 tablespoon miso paste. So we have this white miso paste, and it is how much? A tablespoon. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Okay, so we'll see. A tablespoon. That's a bit much. So we have a tablespoon here of miso paste. It also says to add in the peanut butter at this stage, and so this is gonna add a bit of sweetness to our broth, which will be really nice. If it all pans out the way that we expect it to. 1 tablespoon of peanut butter as well, and that goes in. So we have our peanut butter, our miso, we have sesame oil, soy sauce, garlic, and ginger powder in here. And that is our soup broth. And I think that's it. Finishing touches. Once the noodles and vegetables are cooked, add an egg if you packed it. I did not. And add in, oh, I forgot the green onions. Okay, whatever. That's just the garnish, it should be fine. Okay, so we're gonna put this away, and then we're ready to taste it. I'm excited. I'm also like super nervous about this because this could be really good or really freaking bad. But it is similar to one of mine, so I'm hoping that it's good. Okay, so that's our finished product. That's how you make ChatGPT's Asian-inspired noodle soup. Okay, so we've followed ChatGPT's instructions. We've used most of the ingredients aside from the ones that I completely forgot. And now it is the moment of truth. This is where we try out ChatGPT's Asian-inspired noodle soup. Here we go. Oh my God. That's not bad. Like, I wouldn't say it's the best thing I've ever had. But, oh my gosh. I mean, these dehydrated vegetables are very good in here. But it's actually balanced. Maybe a bit on the salty side for me, but it's got the peanut butter, it's got that miso, the soy sauce in here. The sesame oil is kind of what brings it all together. But, oh my gosh. Alicia, come try this. Come on.
Eat my hair. Oh yeah.
What do you think?
I understand the saltiness, but the sesame oil. Feels kind of good. Kind of like creamy. It feels very homey actually. Because it feels very like you put whatever you had at home.
Yeah.
I like this.
Alicia approved?
Yeah, I would eat this.
Final thoughts. The noodle dish that ChatGPT came up with is decent. And like, if I'm running strapped on a backpacking trip and I like have a bunch of ingredients at home, but I don't know what to do with it, but I want to try something new, throw it in ChatGPT and see what it spits out. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of food in the outdoors is great no matter what it is, largely because it's just so beautiful where you're at. I will say that pros,
taste is good, flavors are good, like used all the ingredients that I had at home, which was really nice. I'd say a con for me is that like, this isn't really like reminding me of home. It's reminding me of like a non-Asian person trying to cook Asian food. But at the end of the day, it's passable. I would like it. And I'm really interested to see how over the years, as AI continues to develop, it continues to try more recipes, if this type of recipe would get better, or if they use different ingredients to try to make it work. All in all, super excited about this. And hey, if you liked what we did here, we've got plenty of other recipes that are non-AI inspired and are really, really tasty that you can check out here. But for now, if you don't follow or subscribe to us, I'd encourage you to come, like this video, comment the next recipe that you want to see, and come along for the ride. It's going to be an awesome year in 2025 with tons of recipes and tons of trips, and I'd love to have you around. See you next time.